We're exploring careers in engineering. Engineers design the world around us. Whatever we're interacting with, they either built it or they're making it better. We're at Olson Associates, a Nebraska-born company that stretches from Kearney to Omaha, even across the country. Let's go see what they're up to. Brian is the Nebraska region leader for Olson Associates, and as far as I can tell, Olson does pretty much everything.
Well, yeah, it kind of seems that way. We don't do everything, but we sure do a lot of things. We are a design engineering firm, and so we design the world around you. And so the road that you drove in on this morning, the water you drank when you brushed your teeth, when you flushed the toilet, the wastewater that left your house.
We're getting very detailed here.
We are. We're getting to know each other really well.
Wow.
Those are the kinds of things that Olson Associates designs for the world around us.
And your job as Nebraska region leader, what's that like?
Well, it's great. I get to, on the operational side, I get to work with all of our offices in Nebraska and make sure that we're doing what we need to be doing in terms of the engineering work. So are we doing a good job for our clients? Are we turning out quality designs that make the world run just a little bit better around us?
And getting into this role was an interesting process for you.
It was, yeah, it was a little bit of this. I didn't start out at Olson. I'm a mechanical engineer by degree, and I designed heavy equipment, cranes, for the first 10 years of my career. And I came down to Olson, and they said, you know what, come on board, and we'll figure it out as we go. So 15 years later, I get to do fun stuff like this.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, I'd love to get to know the company a little more. Can you introduce me to a young professional?
Sure, I'd be happy to. I'll go introduce you to one of our young engineers right now.
Perfect. This is Katie. She is a team leader at Olson. Now, team leader's a pretty vague description, so help us. What are the details?
Yeah, so I oversee a team of about 25 people, both civil engineers and landscape architects, and then we also have technicians and designers. Yeah, I just kind of oversee the workload and make sure things are going smoothly on a day-to-day basis and oversee hiring and that kind of thing.
Now, you're a civil engineer yourself.
I am.
What's that like? What does a civil engineer do?
Yeah, so I'm actually on the general civil team, so we work on a lot of land development projects. So it's very very diverse. Our work type is really diverse. We do anything from commercial developments to residential developments. We are involved in a pedestrian bridge currently. It's a lot of different things that take a lot of different components of civil engineering into one discipline.
Now, how did you know that you wanted to be a civil engineer?
So I started out taking drafting classes in high school, and I really enjoyed that. And my dad was an industrial technology teacher, and he showed me pictures of floor plans in this book that he had. And I just thought that was really cool, taking a bird's eye view of something and laying it out and sort of having control over, how people are going to live in a sense, sort of. And so civil engineering is similar to that. It's just on a larger scale, much larger scale. Our projects range from a half an acre to 200 acres.
Wow. And that's even across the country with Olson, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, you mentioned how people live, but you also work with the environment and animals, plants. You were involved in a project recently that was helping to determine environmental impact and kind of keep the earth green.
I was. So there was a creek channel that was on one of our projects that was severely incised. It was in bad shape. And we said, okay, we're going to come in here and sort of lay the banks back, create sort of a flood area, hold back some of the water so that the area downstream wouldn't be impacted by large rain events as much. We worked with the city of Omaha on that, and we were impacting some wetlands with that project, and we said, okay, yeah, Corps of Engineers, we're removing a lot of wetlands, but here's all the wetlands that we think are going to develop when we redo this stream channel. And 5 or 6 years later, we found that there's actually more wetlands that have developed
There you go.
than we thought there would be. So that's always good.
You're leaving it better than you found it.
That's right.
Now, you started at Olson in a unique way. While you were still in college, you began an internship with them.
I did, yeah. I started when I was a sophomore, actually, here in the Lincoln office, and then transferred up to Omaha when I graduated. But I really enjoyed that. Olson, that's kind of Olson's MO, is to hire students, and we give a lot of responsibility to our students, and so it's pretty fun. You get on-the-job training while you're still in school.
There you go. So if someone's thinking maybe I could do this, that sounds awesome. What would be the next step for them?
I would say go to your career fairs. I mean, I always kind of enjoyed walking around and finding out what the engineering companies were about. And then I was lucky enough to know someone at Olson who got me. I actually shadowed someone at Olson, and normally people at engineering companies are open to doing that, even if they don't have a job opening for students. The fact that I shadowed, I think, later on was a plus for me when I interviewed for the job.
That's great. Well, Katie, thanks so much. Really
Yeah.
appreciate getting to know you.
You're welcome.
Maybe you could join Olson and build up the world. We're taking a look at careers in renewable and sustainable energy, powering our world without draining it. We're in Columbus, Nebraska, and Nebraska Public Power District. And I'm gonna go see who I can talk to. I'm with MPPD's Manager of Sustainable Energy, Dave Rich. Dave, thanks for meeting with me. Why don't you tell me what you guys do?
Well, I'm glad to meet with you. We're responsible for generating electricity and delivering it to customers throughout outstate Nebraska.
Nice. And how do you guys generate that electricity?
We have a combination of resources: nuclear, coal, natural gas, hydro, wind.
Okay, so like every single way you could generate
Just
electricity.
about. There's a lot of benefits of having a diverse generation mix, yes.
Wow. And how many different careers does it take to get electricity out to the people?
It's a tremendous wide range. We have engineers, architects, we have business majors, we have accounting people, we have linemen, various other types of technicians, scientists, a wide range of people that work here.
How many people does MPPD employ?
Approximately 2,100 full-time and about another 40 part-time people.
Wow. And so many different careers. You're going to see just a wide swath, I guess, of different educational backgrounds.
Yes, very. We hire a lot of college graduates, a lot of two-year graduates, and we hire some without degrees, but most of them have some type of certification or degree.
Okay, so most people start at least a 2-year degree, and they're going on to get advanced degrees, masters, doctorates.
For example, yes, I started with a 4-year electrical engineering, went back and got graduate electrical engineering, and then an MBA. So many people have MBAs at NPPD.
So you've been working at MPPD for a while, right?
Correct, 35 years.
Okay, you must love it.
Yeah, it's been a great time. It's been a great time.
What's it like working here?
Well, we are challenged, and you enjoy the challenges. You really enjoy the people you work with, and you work for Nebraskans. And there's that proud work ethic that you see every day working here.
That's great. So if you would picture your perfect employee, what would he or she be like?
First of all, the attitude is so important, and I think if I had my choice, I'd hire somebody local from Nebraska as compared to outstate. The probability they continue to work here. Again, you want to make sure they've had a good education background. You really want to find out what they want to do in life and make sure there's a match for the job opening you have and what they're looking for.
Great. Thanks so much, Dave. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go see who else I can find.
Good luck and enjoy the discussion. Thank you.
James Lassenheiser is an energy efficiency consultant here at MPPD, and I can call you Jim, right?
That's correct.
So tell us what you do day to day.
As you said, I'm an energy efficiency consultant. What we do is we go into commercial and industrial businesses, as well as residential homes, and tell them how to be more energy efficient, and try to find out where they're wasting energy, how they can save money by improving their energy efficiency in their businesses.
Wow, so you have an engineering degree to do that?
That's correct.
How did you get into this field?
Well, when I started as a kid, I worked with my family as building homes and was in high school doing projects and trying to design little things, and I decided I wanted to go to a tech school and started working with my hands. So I got a 2-year degree there in electronics, and I decided, you know what, this is not enough. I need to get an engineering degree. So I went on to a 4-year college and got my engineering degree there.
And then you started work at MPPD after that?
That's correct. Right out of college, I applied to MPPD, and they hired me at Cooper Nuclear Station in Brownville, Nebraska.
Wow. So what made you go into energy efficiency?
Well, while I was there, I was working with large motors, and one of the things that they were starting to focus on is how can you make them more energy efficient. So I started talking about it, and that was my job, and I decided, I'm going to talk with a couple of my other friends and see if they have something in MPPD that I can get into energy efficiency more. And I called up the energy efficiency department, and they had a job available. So I applied for it and got the job.
Yeah, now this isn't your typical engineering job because you're working directly with people all the time.
That's correct. With Cooper, when I first started, I was sitting at a desk and designing a lot of things, but I really wanted to get out to help people. And so I took this job, which works with customer service, and help them to be more green.
Wow. So what's your favorite part about MPPD?
My favorite part is working with customers. Be able to get out there and they have a problem or something's going on, I'll be able to resolve it for them and help them out. So I'm always happy to see them smile. So,
Wow. Well,
yeah.
Jim, thanks for talking with me.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Appreciate learning about NPPD. They're keeping the lights on and keeping the earth green. We've explored careers in energy and engineering, but here in Clarks, Nebraska, there's a company that fuses them both to get us the fuel that drives our lives. They're not making it for us, they're not selling it to us, but by building things like this, they're getting it where it needs to go. It's kind of energy in motion. That's Strobel Energy Group. This is Heather Webb. She's the Human Resources Director here at Strobel. Tell us about the company.
So we are a company that does engineering, procurement, and construction, and we partner with different clients that have us come in and take a greenfield and design that, engineer it, and construct it into something that can move product. And that product can be oil, it can be corn, it can be sand, it doesn't matter. The last several years, we've been focused more in the crude oil industry. And so we go in and that can be anywhere from rail to structure to buildings to moving all the ground, dirt work on the grounds, all of that, and a lot of electrical.
Well, building something from the ground up, that's pretty unique for a company to do.
Absolutely. Yes, we pride ourselves on able to take it from napkin to turnkey.
Oh, napkin to turnkey. I've
yes.
never heard of that. That's
Yes.
cool. There you go.
Yes.
Do you have those napkins laying around somewhere?
We
I could
actually
look at that.
probably do. I bet I could go back and find some of those.
And now we're going to find Strobel's work like throughout Nebraska and then even beyond that.
Absolutely. A lot of our work is actually going to be a lot further than Nebraska. North Dakota, Texas. We've done some stuff in Louisiana. We are actually working on a project in Columbus, Nebraska right now, which is pretty exciting. Something new that we haven't done in a long time.
Wow.
Ever.
Walk us through that napkin to turnkey process.
Yes. So our business development, which actually happens to be the owner of our company that founded our company, underneath his grandpa and his father's wing, he will go out and meet with these clients in the very, very early stages. And it may be over dinner, they're drawing on the back of a napkin.
And they're saying we need something built to help store and move our corn or our resources, some of this fuel.
This fuel, yes, absolutely. And so then he brings that back to the team here where he'll get around a table with some of our project managers, our engineers, our designers, and here's what the client's envisioning. Let's make it happen for them. A lot of times these clients, it's not even about money, it's about relationship. And they believe that we can get the project done and that we've had some successful projects and they see that. In the energy world, it's a very small world as much as you wouldn't think it is, but you run into a lot of the same key players throughout the energy sector.
I'd love to get to know Strobel a little bit more. Is there somebody you can introduce me to?
Absolutely. Jason is one of our engineers here on staff.
Perfect. This is Jason Babcock, the Director of Engineering here at Strobel. Tell us what your job's all about.
Yeah, I am the Director of Engineering, and so I lead a group of engineers, and we do engineering for construction projects as we get out into the field of loading and unloading energy products.
That sounds like kind of a high risk, high reward kind of thing.
Yeah, these projects can take a year, 2 years sometimes to actually progress through the engineering stage and construction stage and startup.
Yeah, and Strobel's reach is more than statewide, isn't it?
Yeah, we've done projects in Texas and North Dakota, Louisiana, even had some design work. We go into Mexico and Canada. So we have done a little bit of work across the nation, really.
Now, Jason's got some initials after his name, something I've always wanted. I always wanted like an LTD or like a TM after my name. So
Yeah.
tell me about yours, PE and PMP, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. PE stands for Professional Engineer, and I'm licensed in the state of Nebraska as a mechanical professional engineer. I stamp drawings and the state knows that I'm authorized to design this work and provide this service to the area. I like to make things safe for people and the environment.
We
and
appreciate
so
it.
So yeah, the PMP is Project Management Professional. That's more of just a certification. For both of them, I did have to take an exam. The professional engineering requires that I actually have 4 years of experience before I even get to take the exam.
Wow.
And then I have to have references and schoolwork and all that behind it to get the PE license.
Gotcha. So I'm going
Yeah.
for some easier initials to find
Okay,
somewhere.
yeah.
What do you like about it the most?
I enjoy working with process and with steam. I mean, if we think about steam and water and the way it creates power for us, it's kind of fun. You think of a cubic centimeter or cubic inch of water and what it does, how you heat it up, create steam. It runs a generator that provides power to you on a daily basis, and you can plug in your phone, your computer, and so the power needs really come from the energy that we create.
So a little thing of water can power my phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for a
gotta
little
figure
bit.
that out. 'Cause
Yeah.
water has ruined my phone in the past, like multiple times.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds fascinating. I'd love to just take a quick look at a project you're working on, if that's cool.
Yeah, we've got something we can take a look at here in our model.
Nice. So what are we looking at?
So here we're looking at a loadout platform for a rail loading facility.
So trains coming in and out, getting
Yep.
loaded up with stuff, or like unloading.
Yeah, and this is a loading platform, so we're loading 14 rail cars at the same time.
Wow.
So you're bringing it in here. You have piping that's allowing the product that you need to load up through this pipe and out into a loading arm that reaches out over the rail car.
So this design is like a team of people are working to build this design on this program.
Yeah, it takes several engineers and designers time to walk through the design, think about the design, and maybe do revisions on the design as well. So you'll have a structural engineer doing the structural part of it. This person is going to spend time actually evaluating it, probably with software, on if this structure will hold people and hold the equipment up where
Yeah.
it's supposed to go. So you're thinking about the columns. Are the columns strong enough to hold everything up that they need to be? You see things like cross bracing, so it doesn't want to fall over like a domino and things like that. So structural engineers taking some time to go through that process, make sure it's going to stand up when the wind blows.
That's incredible. And what specifically are you looking at in this? Because you're not doing everything.
Right. So I am a mechanical engineer, so a lot of my time would be spent looking at the piping, the product in the piping, what type of product is it, how big of pumps do I need to push that fluid through, how many valves do I have in there, what are the restrictions in that piping to make this pipe work well.
Okay.
So yeah, my part of it is probably looking at the piping more so, although I look at the overall part of it as well too. But we have a team of people that are looking at that and making sure it's all right. So it's not just one guy does it. We have a review process we go through as well.
And have you ever been to see this in like the real world?
Yeah.
IRL?
Yeah, so this is a complete project. I believe it's in North Dakota. We've been up there, walked along the grading, and watched it actually put product into the rail car.
Carved your name in there, said
Well,
JB.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did that.
My pocket knife wouldn't be sharp enough, but yeah.
Well, hey, Jason, thanks for telling me a little bit about Strobel.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, and our energy's in good hands.